Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report. We're still breaking down game one. There's so much out of that 120 Celtics, 120-108 Celtics win over the Warriors in game one of the finals here. One guy way down the list who we don't want to leave out, who was enormously impactful, I thought, in his limited minutes there, was Robert Williams. 4 blocks in this game. One of those performances on the high end of his impact that we saw in that Miami series. He had the extra days off. He called the pain manageable at media day, and he's gotten that round-the-clock treatment to allow him to play and thrive and look something close to the old Rob. A couple plays that stand out are that block in the fourth quarter and the lob that Jaylen Brown threw to him to get that 7-0 run going at the start of the fourth.
Yeah, and he obviously makes an impact on the defensive end. But yeah, like you said, running the floor, Jaylen getting him for that alley-oop, him doing that scream and everything, getting the crowd going. Or not the crowd going, getting his teammates going rather.
Few people in the crowd.
Yeah, a few people. The ones that were chanting "Let's go Celtics" after the Warriors fans started leaving for the heading for the exits. But no, Rob makes that impact, and whether it's in the first half, to come out strong defensively, or whether it's in the second half. But the thing is that with Rob, you're not quite sure how sore that his injury is going to be, what the reaction is going to be after game one. So we talked about it pregame. Going into game one, I was like, this might be the best Rob we see this series. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But when you look at the schedule, I mean, there's a couple of days, days off in between games here, but it's not like the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's the thing that's most encouraging about the stretch and how, he's going to be questionable every single game throughout this series. At least they're not playing every other day. So hopefully that goes a long way, especially on the, later end of this, the back end of the series, when things really start to matter. But so far, so good. You want to see that type of production from Rob, finishing on the offensive end and also giving you 4 blocks on the defensive side. That was huge.
He's a deterrent in there. It doesn't matter what the team is. Even a shooting team like Golden State, they got to get that dribble penetration to set up a lot of what they're doing. And it's not available against Rob. He's just such a deterrent. Seeing him impact the game at his highest level since he's been back, even this limited version of Rob, just makes me go back to my thought before he got injured was that he was the defensive player of the year, not Marcus.
You did say that. I'm like, listen.
I mean, the impact.
He may get one of those in his career, but not yet.
It's kind of the big man bias, and you can debate it all day long, but I just feel like a big man at that position is able to do more on the floor, especially one that can switch like Rob. And that's where he ran into a little trouble, especially early, him and Al in that drop position. That's going to be the biggest thing you look at going into game 2 and say, how can you fix that? Because, man, the Warriors ripped them apart. We're sitting up top there just watching them shoot wide open 3 after wide open 3. The Warriors, it was like they never watched the Warriors, not only this year, but going back to 2015.
Yeah, but this isn't the same team, Bo. I get what you're saying.
They'll still hit those 3s.
Yeah, right. You can't leave Steph Curry that open. That's true. And I think that's going to happen. Not that that's going to happen, again in game 2, but what's going to happen is that Golden State's going to test Rob. They have to, right? They know he's not 100%. They know what he means.
Especially after the first game.
Yeah. Right. And it's like what I was talking about during the Celtics postgame show where I feel like they're going to do their best to unlock Klay Thompson. Now, that doesn't mean getting him as many open 3s as possible. That means just getting him going in general. And the best way to do that is get him to attack the basket, test out the rim protection that the Celtics have been doing, test out those switches, maybe get a one-on-one, try to get Rob into foul trouble. I think that's something they're going to try to do right out the gate, and while obviously trying to get open 3s for everyone in that lineup, including the best shooter out there, Steph Curry.
Or make a move, get him out in space. And that's where Curry's going to have to step up, especially. I feel like they're in a tricky spot right now, Golden State, because he's going to have to free himself. Obviously, all the attention's on him. And I'm not sure if he can shake Rob on the perimeter. I mean, we've seen him kind of have trouble with some of those bigger guys switching in the past. Like, you think you'll be able to shoot over them. But if it's a one-on-one isolation opportunity, as long as Rob's selling out for the 3, there should be help and rotations behind him, especially if Al Horford's out there with him. But I'm not ruling out the Warriors yet either. Rob was that X factor for me coming in. If he was going to be healthy, anything close to himself, I thought the Celtics would be a slam dunk to win this series. And that's kind of what we saw from Rob in game 1. What's he look like game 2? It's been the day-to-day impact for him injury-wise. He's still dealing with the swelling, restricted movement, and pain from that surgery in the knee bruise. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll be questionable again for game 2 on Sunday. But as Josue said, the extra days off are going to help him immensely in this series. help the Celtics as they're 3 wins from a championship here in San Francisco. They'll go for number 2 in the series in Game 2 on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. We'll have post-game continued coverage from Celtics and Warriors practice tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to Celtics All Access for that, CLNS Media, for all the pressers. And go check out com.com/garden, 40% off a premium subscription, sleep, meditation, yoga, LeBron stories, they're all on there. And you can go get them 40% off com.com/garden. This has been the Garden Report. Josue Pavon, Manning live in San Francisco.